We've seen so many videos of hairstylists cutting off people's hair, telling people they need to use these specific products, straightening people's hair to death. And it can be challenging to find a good hairstylist. And I came across this video from African Hair Guard, aka Narada. And I just thought I need to show my subscribers what he's saying because as a licensed hairstylist, I was surprised.
Hello everyone, my name is Narada. I go by African Hair God. I am a licensed natural hairstylist and salon co-owner of over 10 years at the Green Thumb Salon located in Decatur, Georgia. And here are 15 reasons as to why I am a rebel of the natural hair community based on its generally accepted trends, rules, and accepted norms. Number one, I do not approach hair care based on hair typing of any kind. Not based on your curl pattern, not based on your porosity, your density, your texture, none of that. I think that all of those things are different characteristics of your hair and they can tell us certain aspects about your hair. But I believe that everyone's hair is uniquely theirs and there are so many variables, factors, and physiological differences that will determine how your hair responds to styling products and any of the sort.
Interesting. Okay. Well, to be honest, this freed me because I've never understood hair typing. Don't get it. I don't know. Is my hair 4A, 4B, 4C? Is it 1A? I mean, it's probably not 1A, but I've just never really understood it. I have no idea. And honestly, it's never affected how I care for my hair. So, yeah, I 100% resonate with that.
Number two, I do not over-rely on deep conditioning. Deep conditioning treatments are exactly that. They are a treatment. They are meant to treat a deficiency of some kind of the hair to help rebalance out the hair in terms of its moisture or protein balance. When I have my clients that come regularly, we are maintaining their healthy hair and maintaining their moisture and protein balance naturally just from how we're handling their hair. However, when I do get new clients, sometimes there is a huge deficiency in either moisture or the protein, and so we will need to implement a deep conditioning treatment to help mitigate that. But once we balance it, there's really no need to do that. So yeah, my clients generally don't get deep conditionings.
Okay, honestly, I was very surprised to hear this because I remember when I first started growing my hair and on Instagram and also on YouTube, I just felt like I was constantly seeing everywhere, you need to deep condition your hair every wash day. If you don't do every wash day, then your hair's going to break off and blah, blah, blah. And I kind of just didn't subscribe to it. So yeah, that's really interesting to me. Also, I think it's really interesting that he says, if he's got new clients, then maybe on his new clients, that's when he may introduce deep conditioner. But for his existing clients, because of the way that they are maintaining their hair, they actually don't need deep conditioners regularly. And I was like, wow, okay, that's pretty interesting. And I actually made a video. How long ago was it now? Maybe about a year ago. It will be on my channel, but I'll link it above. Talking about the fact that I don't deep condition every wash day. And I remember thinking, oh, this is going to be a little bit controversial on YouTube. But yeah, this is really, really interesting to hear from a licensed hairstylist. Remember, we're asking ourselves the question, is this the kind of hairstylist you want in your hair? Let's carry on.
Number three, I do not believe in protein sensitivity. I believe that everyone needs protein to some extent, and I believe that people either abuse protein and don't understand it and overuse it, or some people are just terrified of it because, again, they don't understand it. There are different proteins that all do different things. There's some proteins that coat the hair. There's some proteins that go into the cortex and help rebuild missing bonds in the cortex and the cuticle. You have bonding treatments that also serve as a type of protein treatment that help to replace missing bonds in the hair. So it's all about understanding the science around protein and bonding treatments. But again, I don't believe in protein sensitivity.
Okay, protein is definitely a sore subject for some people. I'm probably on the side of the scale of I don't understand it and therefore I've never really indulged in it. Now, I also haven't gone so far that I don't use products that have protein in it. I just think just using balanced products should work enough for my hair. So yeah, I mean, if I were to be kind of scoring this along the way, right now, because we've done 3 points so far, right now, I'd be scoring Narada a 3 out of 3 so far because he's hitting the points. And at the moment, for me, I would say this is the kind of hairstylist I would want.
Believe it or not, I'm probably one of the only hairstylists that does not recommend weekly shampoos. I believe that you can get much further with your natural hair when you stretch out your shampoos either every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or 4 weeks ideally. That does not work for every person, every head of hair, every situation, but when it does work, it does work.
Wow. Okay. So he doesn't recommend weekly shampooing. Now, I've had quite a few people in the comments of my videos either encouraging me or others that I share about saying, you should be washing your hair weekly. I shared a video on advice from Butt Length Naturals that was about indigenous strands, curl code black, and so dull. And all of them wash their hair. Oh, actually, sorry, not so dull, but indigenous strands and curl code black, they wash their hair around about on a monthly basis. And a lot of people were in the comments talking a little bit about you should be washing your hair more than that. I can't go so long without washing. And I think I agree that it's not the same across the board. Some people may need to wash their hair more regularly, but I just love the fact that he is breaking the myth that you have to wash your hair weekly. Because for me, I've been washing my hair pretty much every 2 weeks since like my hair grew to a longer length. When I say longer length, we're talking probably around about past ear length. Once it got past ear length, I was washing my hair every 2 weeks. Prior to that, when it was shaved and, really teeny weeny afro stage, then yeah, I was probably washing my hair weekly. But as soon as it starts getting longer, I started washing it every 2 weeks. And to be honest, I think I can see myself as it gets longer and longer because I'm pretty much reaching waist length now. And so as it begins to get past waist length, I could see myself stretching my wash days even more because obviously the longer your hair is, the longer it's going to take to wash and style it and stuff. So this is really good to hear. Again, right now we're on a 4 out of 4.
So I'm one of the few hairstylists that's not loyal to any particular product or product lines. I don't focus on products. I focus on product knowledge and product application. I believe that you can use just about any product out there and make it work, but it's more about understanding how these products work and what they're intended to do versus just grabbing what everyone says is the best product and saying it works, but what is it doing exactly? It's about knowing and understanding when this product is applicable for the situation and what you need for your hair care or in terms of styling, and using that and using it properly versus just getting the best product out there and not knowing how to use it. And now you have subpar results because you just threw it in your hair.
Definitely surprising to me because personally, I feel like sometimes when you go to stylists, they can really encourage you that either you need to get the products that they are using to wash your hair with, or I don't know, there's just something that kind of makes you feel like, oh, I need to get these products that the stylist is washing my hair with or styling my hair with, and if I don't have it, then I'm not going to be able to keep up my routine. But he's making it very clear that actually it's not that serious. And I look back on my journey when I first started, and I made a commitment to myself that I wasn't going to buy any new hair care products, even though I was starting this new hair growth journey. So I just chose to start with exactly what I had in my house left over already. I already had, a leave-in, or I think it was a leave-in and a butter that I had. And I already had an oil, and then I had some cheapo conditioner. The conditioner was about £3. The bottle was like this big. It was massive. When I say £3, £3 is probably about $5 or so. And all these products still worked fine for my hair because it was about the process of how I am maintaining length, how I am retaining the moisture and things like that, rather than what are the specific brands or specific products that I'm using. And I get a lot of people on my channel that, they are seeing my hair growth. And even though I very, very rarely speak specifically about products, and when I'm referring to products, I'm talking about like specific brands, not talking about the ingredients within products. But yeah, I very rarely speak about products in that way, but I still get lots of people asking me, what do you use? What leave-in do you use? What deep conditioner do you use? What this do you use? What blah, blah, blah. And I do share simply because I want to be helpful, but I also do my best to make it clear that it's not about the products. It's really not about the products. It's about how are you using those products? How are you maintaining your routine with whatever it is that you have to use? So far for a hairstylist, Narada is definitely scoring a 5 out of 5 right now.
Number six, porosity is not for the general public. I'm sorry, you guys' understanding of porosity is completely misinformed and ill-informed, and also y'all really don't know how to gauge your own porosity, and you're going based off of other people's perceptions of what porosity is versus what it actually is in reality. And porosity is on a spectrum, but for some reason none of you seem to realize that some of you are actually normal porosity as opposed to low or high. But that's because you don't really understand the spectrum of porosity.
This was definitely interesting to me. I didn't know that porosity was on a spectrum, so I think he's very much right in that. But I do think I was aware that yes, it's kind of. I think of it as low, medium, high. But when people have asked me what's my porosity, I've typically answered with I think the majority of my hair is low porosity, but I definitely notice that my ends seem high and my edges in certain areas of my hair. So I've probably got a misunderstanding of porosity. And here is the key. And this is where I think I strongly agree with what he is saying, because when I first started my hair growth, for like the first 2 to 3 years, I would say. Yeah, 2 to 3 years. I had no idea what porosity was. And here what my hair was still growing and I was still maintaining and retaining that length. So I realized looking back that yeah, he's right. We probably don't even need to be fussing and getting involved in porosity. It's simply just about knowing how to maintain your hair care. Okay, let's keep going.
I do not recommend hair steaming at all, nor do I think it's necessary or beneficial for anyone's hair. I've actually seen hair steaming damage people's hair on more than one occasion, including on my own hair, and I have videos that share my experience in that. So, yeah, no to hair steaming.
That's mad. And to be honest, I think that probably comes off the back of the previous one, because again, with my time spent on Instagram when I was following a lot of hair content and stuff like that, I was seeing a lot of things from low porosity girls, which were they low porosity now or were they not? Who knows? But anyway, low porosity people talking about, we need to steam our hair so that the our hair absorbs the products better. Um, and to be honest, it even made me nearly draw for my clothes steamer, clothes steamer, right? Like, yeah, the thing that you use to steam your clothes. And I nearly tried it one time on my hair, and then I think I kind of thought, yeah, this is probably going too far. This is probably just taking it a step too far. So fair play to you, Narada. I love the fact that he also shared that he tried it and experienced damage. Thankfully, I've not tried it. I don't know if any of you guys want to let us know what's your experience been of hair steaming. Have you tried it? What was the experience? But so far, let's answer the question as well. Is this the kind of hairstylist that you want in your hair? For me, I'm saying yes, because right now he's looking at like a 7 out of 7.
Number 8, I do not believe in trim schedules. I believe that hair does not understand schedules of any kind. And while
Sorry, can we just wait? What? Can we just pause for a moment? And this is a hairstylist, licensed hairstylist saying he doesn't believe in trimming schedules. Okay, let's just keep going.
wear and tear, normal wear and tear does happen over a period of time. I think when it comes to hair trimming, you have to actually allow the damage to present itself before you just try to go and chop it off before it's actually there. Most of my clients only get trims once or twice a year, and that's based on their specific hair needs, because everyone's hair accumulates damage differently. Everyone's hair resists against damage differently, and not everyone is doing damaging processes or styling to their hair, to cause hair damage to appear on the hair so quickly. So this is all based on an individual basis. So no to trim schedules.
That is mad to me. You do not hear that very often from a licensed hairstylist. So I am very, very shocked by that. But Wow, wow, wow. Okay. Typically, stylists are saying, you need to be trimming your hair every 6 to 8 weeks. 6 to 8 weeks without fail. Do not go 8 weeks without trimming your Nah, I'm messing. But that's how it comes across. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like you guys will also, I'm sure, agree that sometimes it can feel like stylists are more so trimming for aesthetics, what it looks like, rather than actually checking what needs to go. Now, I've recently been watching African Hair God's channel, and I've seen him do hair consultations. If you guys get a chance, just head over to his channel and just watch like a few consultations, and you'll see what I mean. But what he does is he will literally go through the client's hair. He like wraps the client's hair around his hands, fingers. I think he maybe even uses some like type of microscope, not a microscope, a what's that thing where you zoom, you can see clearer, like zoom. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so he'll wrap the hair and he will like go down the hair bit by bit, slowly, literally checking every strand of hair and seeing where the breakage is occurring, where the split ends are occurring, where single strand knots are beginning to appear. All of that. He does it strategically through different parts of the hair to fully assess and find out where do I need to trim, rather than, as we know, the typical thing that we see on videos, on trimming videos, is just putting like a white sheet, a white towel, or a white piece of paper behind the hair or underneath the hair, and wherever it's see-through, that's where stylists are cutting. Now, for me, I definitely know I prefer his way of doing it. I need a stylist to be going through my hair and seeing where is the damage presenting itself. And then, us thinking about, okay, why is it presenting itself there? Is there something that I can do to change maybe how I'm manipulating my hair in order to reduce that breakage, reduce those single strand knots, reduce those split ends or whatever. So, my gosh, is this the kind of hairstylist you want in your hair? Because for me, it's a resounding yes right now. When you're talking about how he trims hair and how he literally goes through with a fine tooth comb. But Matt, okay, let's continue.
Number nine, I don't think you need to see a professional to maintain healthy hair. I think that when you know and understand your hair, and you know and understand how to utilize proper product knowledge and application, you can maintain healthy hair at home and you don't have to over rely on a stylist. Maybe go to a stylist to maintain your trims or your hair shaping, but in terms of like getting your hair healthy and retaining length, I don't think you necessarily need a stylist for that, unless you, one, don't want to, or two, are incapable of doing it, or three, don't want to invest the time.
Okay, Narada is breaking all the rules right now. Everything we have heard and known to be true initially, he's just breaking all the rules. And I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay, I think one of the reasons why I agree with this is because, again, sometimes stylists can make you feel like you don't know what you're doing with your hair. And don't get me wrong, maybe some people don't. Like, prior to me, prior to where I am now and how I was caring for my hair, 7 years ago and more, I definitely didn't know what I was doing. So fair play. But in the case where you have developed your own hair care routine and it is working well for you, I think it is really important that you stay confident in that and continue with your routine. And like what he said, use the hairstylist to complement your routine rather than, you have to go there, let's say every 2 weeks or whatever. And obviously, if that's what you do because you get your hair styled by a hairstylist on a regular basis, then fair enough. But if you have your set routine, like personally, I have my own personal routine. I can style my hair myself. I learned since I was a child how to plait, how to cane roll, how to twist, all of that. And so I know that I can keep up with my routine myself, But when it does come to trimming, particularly a real professional trim, then that's something, and that's a time where I definitely want to be seeking out a stylist. And I'm telling you, if Narada ever came to Birmingham in the UK, best believe, best believe I would be booking in. My gosh. Then again, I don't know if I could afford him.
Number 10, I do not elevate expensive or professional products over drugstore or more affordable products. I believe, like I said before, that products are tools that you utilize to help you get to a certain result with your hair. If you understand proper product knowledge and proper product application, you can use any product out there that is either affordable or not and get them to do the same thing. But it's about understanding how these products are formulated, what they are intended to do, and how they would work on your hair.
And this really makes sense because going back to when I said I first started this journey, I just started with any products that I had in the house, and my hair was still flourishing, growing, and maintaining that length. So I definitely resonate with that. I just had the cheapest of conditioners. I'm telling you, literally £3 for like over a 1 litre bottle of conditioner is cheap, but I didn't have a problem with it. So yeah, definitely resonating with that. And so far, this is a 10 out of 10 right now because he is ticking every single box for a hairstylist.
Number 11, this may come as a shock to most of you, but I believe the key to attaining moisture for your hair is properly cleansing and clarifying your hair when necessary. A lot of you don't seem to like the feeling of clean hair, and it just goes to show that y'all really don't know or understand your hair that well, because you have to cleanse everything off before you can allow your hair to take in moisture and then also retain it with the products that you're using so that they effectively work on your hair, which is a clean slate from you cleansing it.
Okay, so washing with conditioner is a no, and not washing our hair at all is a no. Yeah, fair enough.
Number 12, hot oil treatments are pointless. That's it.
Nah, 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 nah. That's not enough. That is not enough. We need you to come back, please, and explain why are hot oil treatments not enough? Why do they not work? Just no, no, no. You can't just leave it like that, please. Honestly, I don't have a massive experience of hot oil treatments. I think I maybe tried it probably about twice. I have tried oil treatments in general, but not necessarily hot oil treatments. And if I'm gonna be really, really honest, have I noticed a mad difference? Can't say I have. And to be fair, again, just thinking through the videos on my channel, it's not something that I've spoken about widely. Um, yeah, so maybe he's right again with this one. Maybe he's right. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. What do you think? What has been your experience of hot oil treatments? Have you seen a difference? Have you not? I definitely haven't. So yeah, he's probably right on this one again.
Number 13, I am very much anti-heat. However, I know and understand that heat can be used responsibly. And I also know that healthy hair is able to resist damage much more effectively than hair that is already damaged. So if you are sitting with damaged hair, hair that is chronically dry, full of split ends, it's probably not a good idea for you to use blow dryers or flat irons or any of the sort. Just leave the heat alone.
Really interesting for a stylist. I think that is very rare to see. I feel it is quite common that you go to a hairstylist and they're very much likely to be pressing someone's hair, straightening someone's hair whilst in their chair. So this is very interesting. And again, I have to say I do resonate with that because over the past 6 years of my hair growth so far, I can count on one hand the amount of times I've used heat. And typically that heat would be a blow dryer, not even really hair straighteners. And yeah, it's been working for me. Do you know what I mean? Reducing the amount of heat on my hair has been working for me. It has been helping me to retain length and reduce any damage, reduce breakage, and things like that. And by the way, like I was saying before about how Narada goes through the hair on with a real fine tooth comb to really see what is actually happening. I decided to copy that the other day, and I was going through my own hair, really looking at it, and I was, would I say surprised? I think I was still quite surprised to see that I could barely see any breakage. apart from, of course, getting to the ends of my hair when I begin to see split ends and single strand knots and stuff. But very, very surprisingly, there was still minimal. There was still minimal split ends. There was still minimal single strand knot. The key is just keep up with your hair care routine. Just keep it going. If you know it works, it works. Keep going. You don't necessarily need to be putting heat on your hair. Fair play. That's been the 13th point so far. And honestly, I have agreed with all 13 points. So, wow. Is this the kind of hairstylist you want in your hair?
Number 14, as a hairstylist, I believe that influencers and professionals are able to coexist. I believe we all serve a particular purpose and have place and a space in this community, but there's no need for the divide or the back and forth or the fighting. We can all work together.
I definitely love this. And I think that's one of the reasons why I wanted to promote this video, because I saw that it was good value. I saw that it aligned very much with probably a lot what a lot of influencers do talk about. I don't really know if I could put myself in the bracket of an influencer. I don't know, but I definitely agree with this. And I think not everyone can get to a stylist as well, which is why, you know, videos like this or videos that other influencers may post online are going to help them. It's still helping them and teaching them how to maintain their hair, how to potentially grow their hair, whereas they may not be able to get that information anywhere else, especially if they're not going to a hairstylist. And I also just think of the fact that, because I've been able to maintain length and see much longer hair in the recent years, now there's a lot of people that now begin to ask me, what are you doing with your hair? How are you caring for your hair? Again, what products do you use? But yeah, I get a lot of these questions about hair care. And again, it just reminds me that, oh yeah, I was one of those people 6 years ago that had absolutely no idea of how to maintain my coily hair and especially how to grow it. And so I know that I'm positioned well in their lives, people that I specifically know, I'm positioned well in their lives to be able to tell them these are a few things that you can do. So I definitely agree. Professionalists, that's an interesting word. Professionals and influencers can coexist together.
Number 15, oils are in fact moisturizers and water is not. I know this is going to come as a shock to many of you, but there is a difference between a moisturizer and a hydrator. A hydrator is something that adds moisture to either your skin or your hair. This would be water. Water is moisture. However, water by itself cannot moisturize, because a moisturizer is something that helps to retain the moisture that's in the skin or the hair, which would be oils, greases, butters, and things of the sort. So you hydrate and then you moisturize. But if you just hydrate with just water, your hair will be dry. It will dry out because it can't retain itself in the hair by itself. You need a coating or a lubricant of some sort.
Totally agree. And this has been my routine again for the past 6 years. What I'm hearing is water, leave-in, and whether it's an oil, a butter, or a grease, just you got to use one of those three. Man, I resonate with all of this. Honestly, I really do. And it's funny because when I first came across this video, I was thinking, oh no, I'm going to disagree with like most of this. But honestly, I was so, so, so surprised to hear this coming from a professional stylist. And it was just so refreshing to me, particularly when he was talking about trimming schedules, because I just think that is a big one. Anyway, there is a lady who has not trimmed her hair in the past 13 years. And I was discussing whether this is good or whether there needs to be a bit of a middle ground. So the video is on the screen now. Feel free to go and watch that next.